Hello everyone, what you just saw was a beautiful samba performance by me and my dance partner Viara Klisurska. But what if I told you that it was also a conversation where we said hello, we learned a little bit about each other, we tested each other's tempers, and we said goodbye with a warm hug? What if I told you that dance is a way we can connect with others and also learn about their emotions by the way they move? My name is Kosta Karakashyan and I'm a director, choreographer and dancer, and I believe partner dancing can show and teach us how to connect with those around us with ease and honesty. And today I'm going to show you 8 ways to connect in 8 samba steps. Now, being a ballroom dancer and having a partner kind of makes you an expert in connecting with people. In my 20 years of dance experience, I've spent more time with a single ballroom partner than I have with all of my boyfriends combined over the years. I've had the pleasure of dancing with 6 ballroom partners so far in my life, and I can very clearly recall so many details about each partnership. I know how they like to move, I know what perfume they like to wear, I know what kind of dress they like wearing, and a lot of other things that it wouldn't be appropriate sharing right now. This is a very beautiful attitude of deep care that we don't often get to share with people outside of our romantic partnerships. And while this talk was created before the pandemic, I really went back and forth deciding whether it would be appropriate to talk about partner dancing and connecting and physical touch in a time like this. And I thought it would be actually really valuable to revisit it right now, considering that our physical touch is so limited, and maybe we can take a look at it from another perspective, and hopefully when it's much safer for us to touch again, we'll be able to take this new knowledge and utilize it. With a dance partner, you spend 8 to 10 hours of your day every single day together. You share meals, you train together, you travel taking overnight buses to a lot of different countries to compete. You have to convince your romantic partner that you're not secretly doing it behind their back with your dance partner. You share your parents, your tanning lotion, your rhinestones, and so much more. You learn to do each other's hair. And what is the end goal of all of these close activities? Ballroom dancing is the ultimate team sport. You can't be competitive and you can't expect to do really well until you connect with the person next to you and you learn best how you can support them and make them really feel in the zone. When we look at ballroom dancing, at first we might just see 2 people dancing really sexy together, but actually it's much deeper than that. Every time you show up on the dance floor with your partner, you share a deep commitment to making each other the best version of yourself that you can be every single time and every single day. And you're responsible for how your partner feels, how they move, and how they exist on the dance floor. In the brief samba that you watched, we went through several organic moments of communication that I'm going to break down for you right now. These won't be things that will be very new to most of you, and this isn't a talk about why you should dance personally, although I think you should try it. It's more of a way of visually and kinetically expressing that extra care, tenderness, and connection that I believe can make you a better communicator and a better team player. Now we watch the video with Viara a second time so that we can take a look at each of the 8 ways we're connecting. First step is the groove. We both enter the space and we feel the groove or the sound. The first thing that our ears will connect to is the beat, or whatever the mood of the situation is. There might be a voice, it might be just a beat, But for both of us, we recognize that this specific conversation is going to be the samba. So from there, we find starting our own groove and we sync with each other. We feel that we're grooving together and there's no need to do a lot just yet. We just need to be present and feel the groove together. Second move is the invitation. I stretch out my hand to my partner, and as the leader, I'm the one that's initiating it. And this one is pretty straightforward, but there are different ways to invite your partner. I could do a really slow and dramatic invitation that will signal one thing. I can be very clear and very direct, which would signal something else. And I've spent the time figuring out all of these different ways to approach my partner and finding the one that feels the most authentic to me, so that I know I can enter this conversation with the most honest version of myself I can be. The third part is the response. After I stretch my hand out, Viera is the one who decides to take it. And this is also very straightforward. We tend to ignore this sometimes in regular conversation when we don't really wait for a response. We just try to dominate the conversation instead of waiting for an authentic response from the other side. And this is a very important moment. After we do the invitation, it's up to the other person to decide whether they want to start that conversation, or we could be, just left standing there and then the conversation won't happen. So then we retract and we go our separate ways, and you can do a little solo samba on the side. If our partner does decide to take our hand, then we can move on to the fourth step. The fourth step we learn is the whisk step. This is one of the basic steps of the samba. We stay in a closed hold with our partner and we swivel our feet left and right. And this one is really important because we can establish the volume, the shape, and the speed at which we'll be moving. So the whisk step is a way to kind of test the boundaries and set the boundaries of how we want to move with this specific partner and this specific conversation. The fifth step is when we find some distance. Viera is going to spin out of the partnership and we're going to find a long line of movement between us. And this one is really crucial because it opens up a lot of new questions. Where exactly do we feel safe with the partner? Do we like having them further? Do we like having them more close to us? And what is the baseline of this specific partnership? And it's very individual, but it can lead us to more adventurous ways of moving together. The sixth step is when we become fabulous together. Once we found the ways we like to move, it's important to amplify it and really go for gold with this specific way of moving. This is the most exciting part of a partnership, when we've tested each other's boundaries and we've established where we want to go and how we want to get there. So it's all a matter of letting go and having fun together. And all of the steps before this are the steps that we need to kind of go through like a check mark if we do want to get to this fun moment of moving together in an uninhibited way. The seventh step is when we stretch and we go further than we thought we could on our own. This is really special because it leads us to opportunities and ways of moving that we wouldn't be able to do alone without our partner. So this is using the body weight of the other person to move either faster or go further, or just being more dramatic and finding a relationship that we wouldn't be able to reproduce on our own. And it's one of the key aspects of teamwork, being able to trust the other person and to go beyond the moments that we feel comfortable with ourselves. And in ballroom dancing, this is all the beautiful lifts and tricks and all the special moves that seem extraordinary, or things that would take you years to learn. And the eighth and the final step is to retreat into the intimacy and the vulnerability of the partnership sometimes. It can be really exciting to always be at the extremes and to be testing each other's limits, but it's important to have those moments of rest and closeness and connection if we do want to test the extremes. The more we create distance between us, the more energy it takes for this partnership to function and to sustain. So sometimes we do need to retreat and find each other and have a moment of, are you okay? Yeah. Are you okay? Yeah. And only then can we keep this elasticity of the partnership going. Having this sense of togetherness can make both people in the partnership go way beyond what they would be able to do on their own. And it's not only about dancing or a romantic relationship. We all long to connect in an authentic and a caring way, and these are some of the ways that we establish this connection in dance. Authentic connection and partnership are something that we're all capable of having in our day-to-day life. Imagine if we took the time to go through these 8 steps every time that we meet someone new, like a business partnership, or when we're introducing our romantic partner to our parents, or when we're struggling to get along with someone that we don't like at work. If we go through these steps, our intentions would be a lot clearer, the communication with the other person would be a lot more firm and grounded in our authentic selves, and it might be even a lot more fun in the end. Maybe it will turn your own conversation into a little samba party. Through our 8 steps of our samba, finding the groove together, the invitation, the response, establishing our limits together, stretching beyond our comfort zone, being fabulous together, finding a moment of support in each other, and then retreating to the vulnerability, we can connect our minds and our bodies that much more with someone else in a way that feels safe, authentic, and caring. As I said earlier, this isn't a talk on why you should dance, but a talk on how we can take the time to really connect with the people around us in a way that's both emotional and physical. Now you'll get to see our samba performance one more time, and you'll be able to follow along the 8 steps of communication while you're watching it. As you're watching, I invite you to consider these 8 steps and to think about how you can incorporate them in your own communication and in your own daily life. Thank you so much.